Commentator being I think just check those.
Is that me?
Yeah. Being Jenny and Anne. So Jenny, Anne can stand for Jenny as they deliver. Where is it?
Anne's hiding down there. Doesn't work, Anne. You know that. So we're from Brisbane. You can thank this beautiful weather on us because we brought it down with us, just saying.
Just saying.
So I probably want to start with where I came to hear about Australia for Jesus. I like to say Australia for Jesus because I want to say his name. Yeah, so every morning for quite a long time I would put on the full armour of God, and we know what all that is, but the last one that I would always put on was the shoes of readiness to share the gospel of peace. And one day God said to me, and so Jenny, what are you doing about that? And I went, nothing, absolutely nothing. And that really challenged me, and I'm going to really try hard, dear Lord, to not cry. Already wrecked my makeup enough over this weekend. Yeah. So that really challenged me because I've never thought that I would be an evangelist, and I'm still not, but it's the grace of God that, you know, it's not in my strength, it's in God's strength. But Tony's saying I am an evangelist. I claim that and I declare that, but I am an evangelist. And so it wasn't long after that I too, like a lot of others, there seems to be this connection with Vision Christian Media and a Glow. We're very blessed that Vision are based in Brisbane, and I was volunteering there for quite a bit, and I can tell you that a bit of a plug for Vision, they're amazing, they really are, they're all about Jesus. And I heard Tony, I didn't know at the time that it was Tony, and then after a couple of months went by, I did nothing with it, and then I came across Australia for Jesus again and Tony, and I thought, wow, I need to do this. And for me, because I didn't ever see myself out evangelising at all, I needed a tool, I needed something that was easy, that just flowed. And that's what I tell other people, that there's prompts all the way through, so you don't have to get anxious about forgetting where you're at, what you're doing. It just flows, and all the scriptures are there, even the scriptures are there, and I know Tony got a vision about it, and you can feel that it's very anointed, this tool, and it's so easy to use. Preaching to the converted here, I know that, but this is why I just love it so much. It just makes it easy, and once you take that first step up to the person and you get on a roll, it's actually really easy, and I love it. I absolutely love it once you start talking to people, and I've got a bit of a passion for young people, and that was probably ignited last night or reignited when us crazy people went out in the middle of the night. Felt like it at our age, it's the middle of the night.
Middle of the night?
Yeah, we were out there. Yeah, when we...
Two partials.
Yeah.
They were drunk.
Were they partially drunk or were they fully drunk?
Partially.
So it was amazing. So Brisbane is bigger than just Brisbane. I said to Tony a little while ago, I don't want to think just Brisbane, I'm thinking Queensland. And it's a big state, not as big as WA, but we're a big state, and we're the royal state. We've got the Queen's name, so we are the royal priesthood. And we have Russell. That's right, so we've got Russell, where's Russell?
And Kathy.
So we've got Russell in Cairns, we've got Kathy near Boona, we've got another amazing lady that probably many of you are not even aware of. Her name's Shirley Clark. She's at Robina on the Gold Coast, and she's unable to attend anything, even our Zoom meetings, just her circumstances. She's a grandmother, and she's an amazing prayer warrior. So she stands behind us in prayer. So whenever we're having Zoom meetings, which we mostly have every week, I just text her the prayer points, and so she stands in prayer with us, and then we in turn also pray for her. So, well, we don't actually see, I've never met the lady, but we are going to meet her. So I just see Brisbane as just going bigger and going up further up the north coast. And we've got a man who, I'm not sure how he found out about us, but he registered, and he has a coolest name, David Christmas. And that's real, he said that, yep, that's my name. So, and David attends our Zoom meetings every fortnight. He can only come every fortnight, but he's just such an amazing man of God, part of a church I hadn't heard of called Red Dirt Church. Has anyone heard of Red Dirt Church? Look them up, they're amazing. Actually, where's Lorraine and Dave? They might be someone to touch base with, but he's really keen for us to come up and do some training before Christmas. So, Tony, that might time with when you're going to come up. We had a bit of a false start with our training, but that's all good. God's certainly in control. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, Christmas once a fortnight.
yeah, exactly. That's right. So yeah, Brisbane is I just know it's going to take off in Queensland. You know, when you just feel it, you just know that there's something there. And coming down this weekend, so thank you, Tony, for organising this, because I just know that everyone has been touched, and you know, even as I'm speaking, I'm seeing all these fires being lit, not just in Brisbane, not just in Queensland, but you know, across the nation. There's all these fires, and you know, I'm seeing it in my spirit now. There's just fires burning, and they're burning for Jesus, and it's up to us to go and do something about it. And I know everyone's going to, and we're just so encouraged from this weekend. We're just fired up to just go to a whole new level, and you know, just thank you, Tony. I don't know more, just, you know, thank you. And I want to say with Anne, how blessed I am to have Anne on my team. She's like, she's a prayer warrior. And I'm just going to say, she also blows the, shofar. And we're going up Mount Cootha, and you're going to blow that thing.
And more mountains, just not Mount Cootha.
More mountains. We're going to climb mountains.
If anyone say something today, we'll retire Queensland. Well, thanks very much for that, Jenny, but say something again.
All right, So I found out about Australia for Jesus then on the Canberra Declaration, Tony.
Oh, yes.
Click a link, Australia for Jesus took me in. God, it was an answer to a prayer. Used to minister to people on the train, give out John's Gospel, and one day in between the stations in the city, peak hour, God stopped the train and said, give a New Testament in Muslim. And I thought, no, that's actually not God, that's just me. So I sat there, the train sat there, all the trains in Brisbane banking up, and God said, give the New Testament to that Muslim lady. And she was standing in the middle of God, this is in the middle of all my peers, and we always catch the train. Anyway, the train stood there, so I thought, okay, I'm getting up, I'm going to go to work, we're all going to go to work. Gave her the New Testament, and she took it and received it. Didn't have to say anything, you couldn't really. Gave it to her, she just looked at it, you know, and put it in a thing, and I sat down and the train went. Put on the earphones, Planet Shakers, I am not ashamed of the gospel of your name. Yes. Yeah, so look, this is an answer to a prayer. We've been trying as Christians to express our faith. Got it. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Tony. Thank you for being faithful. We went out, a 12-year-old young girl, thought she was 16, gave her life to the Lord. It's like 2 or 3 presentations, and people just give the life to the Lord. It's phenomenal. She took out one earphone, and you could tell the presence of God just come over. Out come the next earphone, and she gave life to the Lord. And out of all of that, she connected up with a chaplain in a local church at school who'd been talking to her. She told us about a chaplain. The chaplain I knew was my friend. I ran my friend, and they're just starting a youth group up at their high school. And the chaplain couldn't do what God sent us to do. She couldn't lead it to the Lord, they're not allowed to. So this is a partnership we've got. We have no idea when we witness the connection that we can connect with. When we get to him, we'll figure this out. So just be obedient. It is awesome. Doesn't matter. As soon as you mention the name of Jesus, we're told to proclaim the gospel. Go out there, start, tell them about Jesus. I've got the good news of the gospel. Jesus died, eternal life, Tell them about that, and then God knows. He hears your heart. And also, Christians are cheering us on. Oh, it's phenomenal. Go out there, Christians are like, yay. And I say, we won't be silent. We've been silent for too long and it's not working. The country's a mess, we're no longer silent. And they cheer us on. When a Christian go for it and say, join us, want to be a presenter? No. Anyway, we'll get them, but they're cheering us on. Just like somebody said here about the Muslim. Danny, you did. Pastor Daniel Nalia. And the Muslims, the people know we Christians are supposed to be speaking out. What are we ashamed of? What are we ashamed of? Amen. Okay, so Queensland. God has got amazing things in store for Queensland. This conference, boy, I can feel it, it's just, you can sense we're all going out, and God is going to give us each a vision for what He has for us out of this conference. It's going to be bigger and better than what we ever thought. That's our God. He would bring us here and not do anything bigger and better than what we could possibly think or imagine. So we're going to be stretched, and it's going to be awesome. Hey, it's going to be exciting. Love adventure. And we'll walk. So God is good.
Thank you so much, Anne. And look, I'm really impressed with the way everyone's keeping their talks pretty crisp, and that's very helpful. Now we're going to hear from Roger. And Roger there are two Rogers here. And it's funny, Roger and I were supernumerary to yesterday's campaigns, and I was using typical military language. SITREP means situation report, and Roger would say, I've just left Gungahlin and I'm heading for Belconnen, and I'd say, I've just left Toggerton and I'm heading for Woden. And then I'd say back, SITREP, it's now 10:45, and we've seen this person coming to the Lord and that person coming to the Lord, and he'd say, SITREP, I'm now at Civic, and they're running the life out of around the Civic. No, they didn't say that. And then at the end of it all, he said, Roger, over and out. And I said, Roger, Roger.
Thank you. What an awesome, incredible day yesterday was for this city and I believe for the nation. And I thank you so much for coming. And Canberra is not an easy city. There's a lot of churches that have tried and failed, and it's a hard city to reach, but I believe what happened yesterday was a breaking of the ground in 7 different centres, and you've sort of given us the challenge now to get regular teams into all of those areas, which I also feel challenged by what David presented yesterday about raising up the leaders. But yeah, thank you. Another thing that happened, these guys came out on the streets last night. We were out at 1 o'clock, but that was also the birthing of a vision to reach people with music and feeding and sharing the gospel with the younger people that go into the city. And Charles was there and to the end, and it was just like that was a foundation as well, because it was the first time. But there were a lot of young people who came up and were talking. They were mostly drunk, but they were listening and believe that's going to return with fruit. One thing I wanted to share, a couple of years ago, how I connected with this, and Martin and I and Hillary and others, the worship team, the group that met here yesterday in the afternoon, we're part of that. And I remember one time, Martin might remember it as well, we were really impressed. We loved spending time with God in His presence. but we also need to go out. And it was such a, like, all of us were saying the same thing, we need to go out, but how are we going to do it, you know? And so Tony, it's, you know, he gave the experience of where he came in this room and the vision came, and we also were in this room, and the Lord had said, you've got to go out, but where are we going to go and how are we going to go? And so it was a bit later that Martin, I think it was through Hillary and Martin that I met Tony and Charles and others. There's been a number of training sessions in different parts of the city, and we've got some faithful people going out on Friday, and Matthew and Martin will often play music on a Friday night, and it just sets the atmosphere in the city. And Brian's just he's just a warrior with the word and the gospel, and he's been doing it out in that city for years. And now there's a real harvest coming there on that's earlier on the Friday nights. That now there's potentially more people wanting to join this later ministry on a Friday night. And we've also got a faithful team that includes Bronwyn and Andrew, who were here yesterday, and Charles. We're going out on Saturdays in different town centres, and we're seeing every time we go out, we would see some people pray the prayer. I just remember the last time we went out, because I've spent a bit of time. I've probably seen more fruit. I've done more evangelism in Russia than I have in Australia, and it's just going into the children's camps. And I remember firmly at one stage the Lord said to me, I want you to come back and do this in Australia, because it was like, oh, that's where I do evangelism. I'm going to come back here and just go to church, and you know, I'm an Australian type of Christian. Yeah, so the Lord really challenged me to, you know, and I have to say, it was really amazing. We met these three homeless guys on our last time out with Charles, and I was listening to these guys, and these guys got to be Russian, just with the accent. So I started speaking a bit of Russian to them, and all three of them were Russian, and all three of them prayed the sinner's prayer. One guy was just crying, and he said, oh, it's just so wonderful to know that there are good people in the world, because they were homeless. And Charles gave him John's Gospel, and I rang him up in the afternoon, and the guy said, he's been reading that John's Gospel solidly since you gave it to him. He's just been crying, and so we haven't been able to reach them again. They won't answer their phone, which is really annoying. But I just believe, you know, they're upset. There's a lot of homeless people, and we saw them out there last night as well. But the Lord is doing something in the city, and you guys have sown into that. So thank you so much for coming. And we've just got to be faithful and raise up those leaders that can carry on in all those centres that wonderful work. There's a connection between the worship and going out, and you know, you see Matthew's heart, and just that we need that presence, that we need to carry the fragrance of God out there, and thank you so much, Matthew and Martin, for the atmosphere that you bring to the city, because it's changing the environment, and praise the Lord. Yeah, that's all I want to say.